Hi, and welcome to the Law Center videocast. I am your host and founder of the Law Center, Larry DeMarco. Thanks for joining us today. If you watch the Law Center videocast and any of the other videos or playlists on the Law Center, please subscribe to the channel, like, share, and comment. If you do these things, it will cause more people to be able to enjoy and learn from the Law Center. Today, we are here with Cindy Hirsch. Cindy Hirsch is a reunited child and targeted parent. She underwent a legal battle for 13 years, and she found the International Support Network of Alienated Families, or ISNAF, the acronym. She found it in 2010 where she attended a conference where Dr. Amy Baker was the keynote speaker. She participated in ISNAF support meetings, led several committees, was co-president, and finally took the lead position of CEO in 2013. Since then, ISNAF collaborated with the top professionals in parental alienation, developed a parental alienation handbook, a judge's authoritative guide and handbook, a parental alienation grief program, roundtables, and it has a strong social media presence. ISNAP is a 501c3 nonprofit that continues to provide education, support, advocacy, and awareness for families dealing with parental alienation, and their website is isnap.info. Cindy, thank you for being a guest on the Law Center videocast.
My pleasure.
So tell us, why are you passionate about this type of work?
Well, I am a alienated child. However, I did not discover that until I began to educate myself about the alienation of my own two children. And I have a passion to change this community, bring about reform. And the kind of selfish intention is to, if I have to change the world to get my children back in my life, I will. And clearly, I am still an alienated parent.
I'm sorry to hear it. But tell us about your company, the ISNAF.
Well, we were founded in 2008 by a therapist. It was originally a therapeutic group. And in 2010, shortly after I discovered ISNAF, the founder of the organization, Karen LeBeau, became very ill and she was going to close it. And several of the parents who were relying on these meetings, looking forward to them every month, decided to ask her if we could take over. And she actually turned the organization over to us. And we began operating not as a therapeutic group, but as a support group since 2010.
And what do you do for the participants and people who come to your meetings?
Well, we educate, support, advocate, and bring about awareness.
So how did you get involved in this type of work?
Well, being a alienated parent since 2002, going through the court systems, and dealing with therapists, attorneys, I had 5 of them. It was an excruciating process. I didn't know another parent. And when I found the support group in 2010, I knew right then I needed to do some work. And there was really very little resources out there for targeted parents. So I got involved immediately. And it's basically a passion to make a difference, because it's been a huge pain that I have undergone inside this community of PA, not the community, but the process of going through losing our child, and the entire one blow at a time, beginning with court, finances, therapists, evaluators, DCF, one to the next, and how does one survive that? So I think there's an absolute huge need for it out there.
So why is this work so important?
Well, there are 22 million parents in the United States who are dealing with this, targeted parents. It's a devastating blow to our children, our society, and we must begin to make it a priority. And it is falling beyond the actual family system. It's landing in our communities everywhere. And if we start looking at some of the issues and the depression that we're currently dealing with, I believe it goes much further than a pandemic.
So you've written books, you, ISNAF, have produced books, articles, course, programs. What are they, and what are the key takeaways from what your books and services are and give?
Okay, well, we began with support group meetings solely. And then we realized parents needed to become more educated and have that education available to them 24/7 and not have to be at a meeting. So we created a handbook. And that handbook has been around since 2015. We didn't write it, we simply compiled the most critical information for every parent so it would be available to them in like a cliff notes of parental alienation. Then we created recently last year, we discovered that judges needed to be further educated on the topic of parental alienation. So we then went back to the drawing board and pulled some of the items from our handbook, had several of the top professionals submit additional papers that we could add to educate the judges so that we could begin to reform some of the decisions and perhaps get them to understand what we're dealing with. So we created a judge's authoritative guide and comprehensive handbook. At the present time, that is only available for judges. ISNAF has taken our funds and donations we receive from our parents, and we are printing them and distributing them throughout the United States to every judge that we can get an address to. And that's one of the things that we're doing with the donations that we have. Once we complete that distribution, we will make that available for targeted parents. And we also have, then we saw the trauma that many of our parents were undergoing. And after losing access to their children, going on in life was excruciatingly difficult. So we created a grief program / healing program. And that's intended to help parents process what they're undergoing, educate them about the stages of grief, work through those stages. We give 25 coping tools in that program. Along with a lot of education. We create possibilities for the future and help parents look at, there is life beyond this, and how to live with the current circumstances they're faced with, and that it's not the end, it's a new beginning, and that anything and everything is possible. And so that's the intention of that program. And then last year we were able to create, and all of our programs are created on need. We see a need, and then we look at how can we fill this need and help parents become empowered in this journey, or after they get to the loss of their child. That's the most excruciating stage. So we created these roundtables with the intention of empowering the parents. To date, these are the roundtables we run. They're a 4-week program, and they were done with 4 other participants with similar circumstances. We have a boundaries roundtable, reunification strategies, communication, negotiation, representing yourself in court, empowering conversations, and most recently, based on popular demand, we created a dating one of, how do we get back in the dating world? What do we tell people? How do we package that we don't have access to our children? And then we still offer meetings, interactive meetings that we have once a month. We also have meetings where we have professionals who speak. We invite professionals on a topic of interest to our participants. And then we have social media and Facebook and Instagram and YouTube where we post our professionals who we've had speak, when you can see them on our YouTube channel. And we also do offer private parent coaching. And I personally coach parents. We coach from topics of what do I do in court? How do I go through an evaluation? How do I prepare to conflicts that they're dealing with their children? How do I talk to DCF? I just got a false allegation. What do I do? A range, down to even I'm really feeling emotionally depressed. What is there for me to do? I don't know how to move on. And so we do private coaching in all of those areas. And quite often, that's why we've created many of our programs, is we have multiple people asking the same and looking for the same help.
So are you running, you said that you do the coaching. Do you personally run every meeting?
Yes, actually, at the present time, I do. We had a co-president, and recently he left. He moved out of state and retired. He's been reunited with his children for probably 10 years now. So he moved on, And so I took over doing all the meetings. And at the present time, yes, but however, we aren't set with that. But for the time being, I'm completely available to do all of that. I'm the front person who runs the programs, writes the programs. We do have a board of directors who run the background on our marketing, our finances, our sending out announcements. We have who help write some of the programs, the handbooks, organizing them.
And so for people who want these resources, the handbook and the judge's authoritative and comprehensive handbook, well, can we find that on your website?
You can get the handbook on our website. Just go onto the website under the resources tab, or halfway down the homepage, you can see a link on there, a little click on a box, and you can pick it up there. It's $35 for domestic and $45 for international.
What are some of your biggest challenges in doing this work?
Well, in the beginning, ISNAP was not asking for any donations. So financial challenges were our greatest challenge. And our board, who was donating their time, were constantly being asked to contribute to the expenses that we had. So we decided at that time to see how we could possibly spread I'm going to say the expense amongst the participants. And so we have nominal fees, and it's our goal to keep any of the donations that we ask for nominal, affordable for everyone, and give them a lot of value for their donation. So we created nominal donations for our meetings, our programs, our handbook, and that gave us some financial stability. So today, the biggest challenge is that we now, due to all the amazing work out there, have highly educated parents. However, we have very little reform. And so what we see are parents who see the train coming or the train running over them. And now how do they survive? So that's a big focal point where ISNAF has shifted into being there to support the parents. There's so many platforms out there doing the education. We still have our handbook available, and we still will offer knowledge and education. However, this more of the growth and the direction we're going in is to how to help parents survive what they're undergoing, even going through the courts, through the evaluations, through the working with the misinformed clinicians, and how do they work through that? And we're giving them a lot of support now.
And what has been ISNAF's biggest accomplishment?
Well, creating ISNAF's programs and meetings and our parent coaching, and it has been highly rewarding to see parents who have come to us devastated and in severe alienation. And the interesting part is that, unfortunately, parents do not seek support until they're pretty much moderately to severely alienated, or even have the distinction of the term to find help. So it's been highly rewarding to have these parents find us and be the saving grace to them. Not that we're rescuing them, but that we're helping them survive it, get educated about it, giving them resources, pointing them in the one direction. And one of the biggest things is they get valued because they have it, that their experience is unique to them. And then when they see you're not alone, and they can sit in a meeting with other people, and we can finish each other's sentences, they recognize it's a phenomenon. It is not them. It's not, in them. It's what's happened to them.
So what are you working on now that you're most excited about?
We'll continue to create our programs, and looking to get a few more of our programs available to people without having to attend, and more affordable. Get a presence out there in the community. And I know I've just talked with you about creating, how can we get these programs recorded and get them out to the public, and with a wider span.
So you do have plans to make more programs and basically increase your size and influence with more courses and more coaching and more roundtables, all that.
Absolutely.
Great.
Yes.
I look forward to helping and participating and working together with you. Who has been one of your biggest influences?
Well, I have two. So, Dr. Amy Baker, she was the first keynote speaker that I ever saw and had the opportunity to meet, and now we collaborate with her. And the knowledge and wealth of knowledge and the work she continues to do in the world and community of PA is amazing. So I'm so grateful, and I've learned so much from that. And I continue to refer to her work in my own journey of alienation. And the other professional, there's so many, but if I were going to pick one more, I would say Dr. Karen Woodall. And I find her work the most progressive. And one of the areas that I'm really grateful that she's working on right now is she, again, is looking to empower parents and get them ready for reunifying. And her profession does actually reunify parents. So, reunify children and parents. So she understands the complete clinical dynamic of children, and she's doing a lot of research in that area now. So I think it's critical for all targeted parents to understand what has happened to our children. This is not in them. Their defiant behavior is not in them. They're not bad children. Again, like you, it is what has happened to them. And for parents to understand that, and then we can work from love, compassion, and always looking at treating them with dignity. And in order to do that, we have to be that. And her work centers around that. And that's one of ISNAP's. We're very parallel in our goals and objectives for the time being.
So every link that you send me and all your contact information, people will be able to find in the description portion of this video. But for the people who are listening to this only while they're jogging or while they're driving, where can they find all these resources? Where's your contact information for us to reach out to you?
You can go to isnaf.info, and my email is on there. You can reach out to me. You can check out all our programs. You can read about them on our website. We have them all listed there. Make sure you go across all the tabs. And I would also like to invite everybody to go to our resources tab on our website, because we have books, we have videos we're linked to, and we're continuing to expand that. All kinds of we have a glossary of terms that's available to you. So do visit that tab and take a look at what's there. We've really tried to make available to parents as many resources to make it a self-help center.
Great. Well, let's leave it there. I want to thank you for being a guest on the Law Center.
Thank you for having me.
We've been here with Cindy Hirsch, and I am your host, Larry DeMarco. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment in the bottom of the video. Also, click the notification bell next to the subscribe to be alerted of our new videos. Check the description portion of this video where you can learn more about isnaf.info and the Law Center. Signing off. Tune in next time. Bye for now.